DB. She, what up?
Let me teach you how to vibe.
KT2 the GOAT. We in here. Cam was always first. YUG. Man, let me start off by first saying shout out.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
All the Oklahoma fans. I knew it was gonna be a tough game. If y'all watched the CFB prediction I had, it pretty much was exactly how I expected the score to end up. I had 34-17, Bama pulling away late, but it wound up being 34-24. Didn't agree with Brent Venables kicking right there. I would have rather them went down and tried to score and gave themselves a couple more shots, like kicking a 50-yarder after you just missed a 50-yarder was kind of crazy. Stephen B said they not like us. I'm gonna give Oklahoma credit because like they came out and they was choking us out and they got out their game plan. I mean, if it wasn't for the guy fumbling a clean punt without it getting blocked, a pick six where he just saw a ghost for a second that got us back in the game.
You how to vibe.
You know, it took a drop touchdown on a deep post pass on a missed tackle on a sack for probably would have been a 15-yard loss. Mateer played. I just thought OU when the game got back close, when Bama tied it back up, I thought OU got out of that game plan and stopped running Mateer because they was coming out in that trips formation and they would motion into a 5 wide with 2 tight ends.
Let me teach you
or a
how
tight
to
end and a
vibe.
running back, and they was giving the extra man. And Mateer was hurting us that way. That way, when they actually did pass, he had all the time in the world the first half. And then you got to give it to to the coaching staff of Alabama, really switching it up and just saying, you know what, if they beat us, they beat us, but we got to send the dogs. I mean, Womack switching it up. Some of those dropout looks where they didn't know who was coming. Defensive line drop sometimes the safety drop, sometimes the cornerbacks come. That was a heck of a game though. Lock kick, number 1 shoe plug in the city. Adam L, Stephen B. She B Walker now. Becker. Congrats on y'all on Indiana to get a beat down. Now we actually headed to the Rose Bowl, man. If y'all got a rose emoji, drop a rose emoji. I think Bama playing with house money right now. We not the number 1 seed. We don't got the Heisman Trophy winner. We don't got a former Bama Nick Saban son or disciple, Kirk Signetti with a big check sitting out there. We got no pressure. You know what I'm saying? Man, we ain't got no pressure, man. He said what they gonna say now, Roll Tide instead of Moss. It's Bernard. Yeah, Bernard. I had to put this on the screen. I was gonna post a picture of the kicker, but I thought that's unfair. You know, that kicker been going crazy all year for Oklahoma, and people are gonna make fun of that guy, and he might be the best kicker in the country. He just had a bad night. A lot of pressure to put on him on that second one after he missed one to kick another 50-yarder. I thought they should have tried to score. Roll Tide swish. Bama money line versus Indiana. OU is the worst case of Fool's Gold, down 0-5 in the CFP. I ain't gonna say that. I just say like they came out and did everything they wanted to do to get the game going, and got out of it. They kind of beat themselves to let us back in the game, and then once it was like Bama had control, you know, you just kind of had this feeling like
teach you how to
OU
vibe.
have enough offense, because I mean they got Mateer going early. They was doing 5 wide, giving him time to throw the football. He got out of some sacks and made some plays. They defense was playing. Glad OU got beat. They want to check where's Texas. Ah, man. Crazy. Man, but shout out to all the OU fans, man. I thought this was an incredible game, a game of big swings. OU coming out early. Really felt like they had Alabama on the ropes for the knockout blow, and special teams not getting the punt off and allowing Bama to get back in it. Huge fourth down call when Bama could have kicked the field goal to go down 17-3. They went for it, and the freshman Brooks made an incredible play, made 3 people miss and scored. Then of course you got the special teams play, and then Bama got it tied up, then went ahead 24 unanswered points against Oklahoma on the road in Oklahoma. You got to give Bama credit for that. And then you still got to give Oklahoma credit for like when Bama had them down 10 in the second half, for them fighting to cut it back to 3. And then Bama extending their lead late, and Oklahoma missing 2 field goals down the stretch. I still would have liked to see Bama be able to run it at the end and run the clock out without the defense having to come back on the field to even be in the position where they could kick a field goal and kick an onside kick and potentially get it and beat us. But 28 rushing yards for Bama and 55 for Oklahoma. And you look at the box score, this was a game that the special teams and turnovers was the difference in this game. Mateer was 26 of 41, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He had 19 carries for 15 yards, so it's like as much as he was picking up yards early, he was getting sacked late, what kind of messed up his averages. And then Bama, 25 carries for 28 yards. Like, these 2 defenses came to play at the line of scrimmage and really shut down the ground game. Ty Simpson was 18 to 29, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Tyra did a good job of not turning it over. That pick 6 to Xavier Brown, which that's his second in a big game. He kind of reminds you of the Tennessee game all over again. But and then Jan Miller with the fumble, being able to recover it back because he got blown up. I don't know why these running backs continue to leave their feet, because these safeties and DBs are good at putting their helmet right on the football. So that that pick 6 that he threw before half, and that fumble on that punt was probably the biggest swings in the game outside of Jeremy Bernard making this catch right here, which was this was just a circus catch. That's one of those things when you say like big time players make big time plays, and jumping over the backup corner and just basically like David Tyree putting it on his helmet, pause, and catching and turning around and getting to the ground with the football without losing, because he dropped one wide open earlier in the game, and it was good to see him bounce back and make that play. So Bama's some monsters. I don't think we the monster we used to be, but Bama's still talented, and I was happy that the coaches made adjustments and decided, like, let's put the game in the players' hands, and send some blitz, get after Mateer, make him make some decisions. Don't let him sit back there comfortable and just pick us apart, as he was picking us apart first half without any pressure on him. He was back there in the pocket just bouncing around, and you can't let a guy like that, with his mobility and his playmaking, like, he's not an accurate guy, but like, he's a guy that just like is tough and is a good playmaker. He said he'll give you a lot of good, but also give you a pick 6 type. And on that pick 6, I just think it was a miscommunication that when Bama did start blitzing him, he was trying not to take a sack and was trying to get it out hot before the end of half. And the receiver just never turned around, because the safety was at the line of scrimmage and he bailed out right before the snap. So you could kind of tell, like, his eyes is just seeing that safety bail out, thinking that the blitz was coming hot, and he did what you should do, is throw right at the blitz, and then he threw right at it, but he didn't see Brown kind of jumped the route and took it to the house, then made him miss and scored. Oh yeah, KD, that was a great game. They said, what's the game plan for Indiana? It's gonna be a little different type of game plan. I mean, material is you want to keep the integrity of the rush lanes, but I honestly for Bama, like Bama has got to control the line of scrimmage. They did a good job, 55 yards rushing for Oklahoma, but they got to be able to run it better against Indiana than they did against OU. Because OU is built just like Georgia. They want to run two high safeties and they want to stop you up front and get after your quarterback. So, you know, with Indiana, Alabama's got to control the line of scrimmage. They got to get after Mendoza and not start off slow for a change. Bama's need to start off getting up on somebody else 17-0 instead of having to try to play from behind. I think it's going to be three similar opponents, but with a slight different twist. You know, like Georgia, Oklahoma, Indiana all want to play the same way. They want to be physical at the line of scrimmage. They want to be able to run it and be balanced, and they got guys that can hurt you on the outside. Hopefully, they go in. They got time to continue to be healthy, which against Georgia, no Jam Miller, no Quavos, some of those guys that made plays tonight. Get to see Bama with a full roster of playmakers. I like to see Ryan Williams get more involved as we go on. Like I feel like he's disappeared from a guy that's on the cover of college football. To Brooks was really the guy who carried Bama in the first half of the game. The second half, Bernard got back involved in it. But I think, you know, you might even have to have Ty Simpson have some design runs if Bama can't run it. But I don't see Indiana making it harder to run the football than OU and Georgia. I don't see that. Said Jacoby Johnson. I felt bad for OU. He's a local kid where I live in the game where he's committed to OU. Great disguise. It was a good disguise. So it's like once they started sending the dogs, of course, at that time in the game, he didn't want to take a bad sack right there. So you throwing at the blitz, he was doing right. It just so happens that the receiver probably didn't catch the alert or didn't catch the he probably didn't see it either. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a receiver, you seeing a safety bail from the line of scrimmage all the way back deep like a bat out of hell, and then you're not expecting to get basically a triangle shell coverage around that route. Because I mean, at worst, if he sees that he really has nowhere to go with the football because the pressure's in his face, other than to just try to like tuck it in and break out or take a sack. But that should definitely be Bama's game plan shouldn't change. They shouldn't be worried about anybody else that's in the bracket. They should be saying if Alabama can run the football enough to keep people like I think Hill in the screen game and with he's not somebody that's gonna have 200 yards rushing and not gonna, you know, be some over the top home run threat. But if him and Miller can just keep linebackers and safeties eyes somewhat near the backfield, I don't care if they got a speed sweep it. I don't care if Hill and Miller and you have to sometimes use Ty Simpson in the run game. Bama's got to be able to keep people honest enough to where they playmakers can get some one-on-one looks, because you know when you got Horton and Brooks and Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, you got Quavos, you got all these people out here that pass catchers. You gotta be able to play a more balanced approach. As you know, teams will start to play us like Georgia played us, where they put two high safeties and just twist and stunt the whole game and try to get pressure in Ty Simpson's face. They said TJ said roll tide, that block punt started the whole thing. I think what started the whole thing was Brooks on that fourth down. Bama could have played it safe and kicked a field goal right there on the road. They went for it on fourth down in the red zone, and you get a freshman who makes a catch in a tight window, makes three people miss and dives. There's a Superman dive, spinning around like a Karate Kid into the end zone. I think that kind of set the tone and say like, this is the time, like if it now or never, you know. And you go from fourth down in the red zone to being stopped and being down 17-0 to 17-7, then the fumble punt, then the pick six, you know. So you had three huge swings where they could have got off the field in the red zone and then they could have punted and made us actually work for it, and then they could have went in the half and got a field goal and still been up, but then it's 7. Bama gets the pick 6, and then it's an even game at that point. Then Bama comes out the second half and gets a big time touchdown. So that's what you want to see. That's championship fight. Which player you was impressed with? From Bama, the player I was impressed with was Brooks. I mean, come on, he's a true freshman that when Ryan Williams is not making plays and Bernard was dropping passes, Horton was dropping passes early on. He beat the safety. They got him matched up on safeties a couple times on those corner routes, those deep outs, and he put in work. That's who I was most impressed with, Brandon, because he's a true freshman. When you think of Bama, you start hearing Jeremy Bernard, Ryan Williams. You start hearing those names, and then you don't think a true freshman Brooks is going to be the one that makes so many big plays. Momentum swing was for sure crazy. He said Oregon going to win it all for the first time in 130 years. Okay, I got you. Y'all need to worry about who y'all got in front of y'all. Just don't lose to James Madison at home. Ty played a good game, no time. And when he got hit, I thought he was going to fumble, but he did a good job of holding on to it, because last time he fumbled that same look where he didn't see the double-sided pressure coming off his right side, which usually you think a blind side is the left side, but his blind side seems to be his right side. They said hopefully Miami and Texas A&M will be good. Man, I would love for that game to be a classic. Yeah, I mean, Hendricks. I mean, Oregon hasn't won a championship since the inception of football. You just need to worry about not losing to James Madison, bro. Mr. Bad Take living up to it. I thought he was gonna fumble the way he got hit, because I don't think he's seen the edge rusher. I think the edge rusher should have been going strictly for the ball, because I don't think Ty seen him at all. You feel me? Hendrix don't. Hey, my dog C with the 200 star bomb. Dragon Stickers in the chat, man. Appreciate the love and support. Hey, man, if y'all ain't already hit that like, comment, share, tap into the daily content. If you're on Facebook, hit that like, share, and follow. Daily football content drops every day. If you're watching on YouTube, 8 a.m. every morning, Shop Talk podcast goes up. Make sure y'all like, comment. You got picture in picture over there. And then if you're watching on Twitch, Amazon Prime, you can sub to the channel free once a month if you got Amazon Prime. If you don't use it on me, use it on another content creator. Don't let it go to waste. It's free. And then if you're not watching on any of those, you should be watching on Kick. Up to 50 emotes free you can use in the channel. No ads, as well as it's got picture in picture. So tap in with me. And if y'all don't see me live on Facebook and YouTube late nights, we on Kick and Twitch, because we can watch game film and listen to music and do a few more things. But for sure, tap in with the daily football content. We have the mailbag as well. So if y'all have questions, y'all could drop them in there. And then one time a week, I'll put those all together and drop those. Yeah, Michael K, the catch is crazy. That's why I got on the screen. I could have put the field goal kicker missing those kicks, but that's not sportsmanship for me on my end. I don't know how to do it the right way with class, because I got some OU fans that's in my community. So I just put Jeremy Bernard making a big time player, making a big time play. Yeah, I mean that's the only thing they've been championing us, to even his best uniforms. He said after watching the game, who's moving up in the draft part? Probably the edge rusher from OU, R. Thomas. He had been hurt, and they didn't know how he was gonna come back. Like, I seen some of his pass rushes where he was just like strong with his hands, like slapping people's hands down. If Bama makes a run, I could see like Caden Proctor's stock going higher and higher as he faces edge rusher after edge rusher week after week. I think Quavos can help himself. Bama, I don't necessarily know if it's anybody on Bama that's gonna like improve their stock, I think some guys on OU could have improved their stock. And to be honest, is like up and down as material is. If I had a late round pick and I had, I didn't blow a pick on a QB, maybe I had a bridge, I would take Mateer in the 7th round and let him develop his footwork and mechanics on passing. As far as his decision making toughness and ability to move around in the pocket and just be a leader, I like Mateer, but he needs some time. EJ Nito, stat of the night. I think the draft board is going to be some more of watching some of these like Texas A&M, Miami, can Ruben Bain game wreck. I like Basantis, offensive guard for Texas A&M, Le'Veon Moss, Will Lee. It's some people out there that can really help they stock up their ball in this postseason. Guys you don't think of, it's like Texas A&M, Miami, Texas Tech, some of the people that you don't normally get to see. I mean, Ole Miss got some guys that, you gotta think about who came from Ole Miss. DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, Quinshawn Judkins. It's some people that came out of Ole Miss here recently that, these guys get a chance to be seen that you don't normally get to see. That's a good question though. It's some guys that's gonna be in this CFP that could be the Cam Scatterbo of last year, that even though people knew he was good, getting to see him ball like that, like, you want a guy like that on your team. Regardless of, you'll find a position for a guy that plays like that. Matthew Golden, what he did in the CFP, definitely boosted his stock. You've seen people boost their stock every year. Travion Henderson and last year, the big screen pass that he took to the house against Texas. It's some people that get to show up and show out in these CFPs. And then, this might sound like I'm not glazing them after I, said what I said about them in the CFP video I did with Rich. If y'all want to go check that out, check it out. It's on YouTube on both our channels. But, James Madison of Tulane, the Titans have drafted Tajay Spears and Jaquan Jackson. Like, if you a DB, if you get like a lockdown corner or a return guy or a twitchy receiver or something on one of those teams, can make a name for themselves on one of those P5 schools like that. People are saying had maybe one of those, maybe some James Madison guys or some Tulane guys have been on people draft boards, but they ain't seen them against elite talent, and then they go out there and show they can play with the big boys. Like, you never know, some of those kids that come from those other schools. Every year you have some of those guys that step up in the NFL and like turn into dogs. Like Jalen Coker on the Panthers, it's like, would he play at Holy Cross or somewhere like that? Like, sometimes those guys come out of nowhere and be good players. They just need the right opportunity. Big Jeff, Texas A&M in Miami tomorrow, man. I definitely gonna be tuned in to watch some football Saturday. It's gonna be interesting. Y'all got any more questions? This is Shotbybuddha's post game, Alabama, Oklahoma. If y'all didn't get to see that, y'all need to go check it out on the YouTube. Me and Rich did a prediction on the whole CFP. Easy 2 times. Roll Tide. I ain't gonna lie, Oklahoma had me worried in the first. I said, man, not 3 times in a row. Then unsung hero stepped up. I mean, if you had told me that Brooks was gonna score a touchdown on 4th down in the red zone, down 17, and Tim Keenan was gonna recover a fumble punt and then turn right back around, and then Brown another pick 6 like he did against Tennessee before the half, plays that swung it around, and of course this beauty by Jeremy Bernard going up and over and snatching the ball out the back of his helmet. That was crazy. Would have been 3 in a row in the span of 13 months. But see, this is the thing though, and people ask me like how I thought about the game. If you go back and watch my review of what I prediction for the game, I said Oklahoma has the perfect setup. They're like Georgia with a little less talent. Their quarterback is mobile. He's gonna move first down sometime with his feet when it shouldn't be there. They can get after you with their front four and stop your run and get after your quarterback. You just can't let them manufacture offense. And y'all started the game off playing perfect manufacturing offense and got us down 17-0, and then Bama had a championship fight to get themselves back in it to
let me teach you how to
get themselves an
vibe.
opportunity. And I felt like the game was gonna be close, and I was like, my prediction was 34-17, but Bama pulls away late, and then it just wound up happening in a weird way that it was 24 unanswered points after going down 17-0, and then OU electing to kick the field goals instead of trying to score in those situations, and it winds up missing 2 field goals and be a 34-24 game that way. Because I didn't think like it would be a blowout either way, and I thought that like Bama would have a chance to pull away late. That if they could get an even game or get the lead in the fourth quarter game, that Oklahoma might not have enough points in them. And but Mateer, he made enough plays. Like the guy dropped the touchdown on the post pass when he should have got sacked, but some kind of way he pulled his Houdini act and got out. And then got fumbling the punt and missing 2 field goals. If you're being honest, give OU the 7 back from the drop touchdown, and then give them the I'll give them one of the field goals. That's 10 points. I mean, we talking about a tie ball game in the fourth. If at home, if Oklahoma didn't shoot themselves in the foot, because outside of that, like I felt like Mateer, throwing for 300 yards. Both teams could not run the ball at all. Crazy.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
So what happens to Ryan Williams? I thought it was supposed to be the next big thing. Ryan Williams catches with his body and not his hands, and it has given him less and less and less opportunities. At one point in the year, he was banged up, and now he's back healthy, trying to work his way into the rotation. But every time he has a chance to make a big play, he tries to catch the ball with his pass instead of catching with his hands. Like, kid is super talented. If he comes back to Alabama next year and they get some good working with him in the off season with catching with his hands, like Jeremy Bernard catches this pass right here because he catches the ball with his hands. He didn't try to let it come into his body. He reached out and got it. Like if Ryan Williams can get that, like far as like making people miss in the open field, and just he kind of reminds me of Devontae Smith. Like he's a skinny, small, like he's not a muscular guy, but he's strong and he's big at the catch point. So it's like if they get him to catch the ball with his hands, he'll be fine next year. He'll still be a first round pick if he fixes his deficiencies. But you still gotta think the kid's still 19 years old. Like he's still young. Like him and Jeremiah Smith, Cam Coleman, they still all got another year before they can declare for the NFL. So you give them time. Jeremy Bernard, Brooks, Horton. Bama's got a lot of weapons. Adam Pac-Man Jones tomorrow. Tennessee Titans. But it's the thing, Joe. It's college, so like, they might draw up some stuff, and Ryan Williams may go crazy in some of the other games. But this is a total team effort. I felt like the Alabama needed it on all 3 phases of complimentary football to get the win. Oklahoma, a team that's done beat them back-to-back games in the CFP, and now we on to Indiana, the team with a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, a team that has done something they never done in the history of their school. Kirk Cignetti is, emerged as a great coach, a son of Saban. And, it's the team that just beat Ohio State, the defending champions in the Big Ten championship, and going to the Rose Bowl to play, which will probably be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft, Mendoza. So, Bama got their work cut out for them. They got to clean it up. They definitely gotta get off to a fast start. They gotta run the ball more efficiently. Like 28 yards rushing for Bama, 55 yards rushing for OU. Neither team was effective running the football, and and let their quarterbacks take a lot of punishment tonight. So interesting. I feel like the pressure's on IU. I feel like Bama got house money, and I feel like when we line it up, Bama's gonna be the more talented team coming into the game. They gotta step up and play like it though. I wonder who will all be back for that game. Hopefully Alabama will be at 100%. I seen Tim Keenan went out late in the game, so we'll see what happened with Tim Keenan. And then we got some big games tomorrow. Man, let me get y'all predictions on these games tomorrow before we get out the shop. Let's see y'all predictions on these games tomorrow. We got the early game, Miami, Texas A&M at 11. We got Tulane, Ole Miss at 2:30. We got the Montana Bowl at 3. If anybody is from that area and is interested in that, but James Madison, JMU, the Fighting Gaming with Meeks, will take on Oregon at 6:30. So, give me Oregon big. Let me get Ole Miss in a controlled victory, and it's gonna be a tough game. And I got Texas A&M pulling that game out. But if Miami wins, I won't be surprised. I mean, Carson Beck's got the experience. Cristobal's got some experience. They got talent. So it's just like, will Elko get in the way of Texas A&M at home with the most raucous crowd in college football with the 12th man, the Aggies? We'll see which team the lights are too bright for when it comes to this game, because it's an early kick. So that's what's interesting about this Miami Texas A&M game. I ain't gonna lie, for scheduling, I wish that Miami Texas A&M was the primetime game, and this Oregon James Madison game was early, and the Tulane Ole Miss was midday kick. Like I don't know why they took the best game and put it at 11 o'clock in the morning instead of making it the night game. Scheduling wise, I don't think that makes much sense. But hey man, I don't make the rules. It says Smith is on another level though. I just remember a year ago people were talking like Williams was top in college with Smith. Smith got stronger and better in my opinion. Yeah, I mean Smith has had an incredible year, but we still gotta wait till next year. I think any team that needs the receiver next year, I think Smith will be the first pick out of the receivers, and then Cam Coleman may be even a person that get picked above Ryan Williams. But like I said, Brian Williams got that Devontae Smith in him. You know, he just got to learn to catch with his hands better. He's still a dynamic player, because when he comes to the NFL, you picking based on potential, not based on a lot of times guys are highly productive in college, but there's somebody with more potential is picked. I mean, I don't think nobody. I mean, me personally, I thought Jeremiah Smith was the better prospect of the two last year. You know, I don't think anybody's ever heard me say that Ryan Williams was a better NFL prospect than Jeremiah Smith, just because of the physicality and the size. Like Jeremiah Smith just seemed like a tank. You know, like dude's real. Like you know, he just looked like a tough individual. But yet and still, if Ryan Williams learned to catch with his hands, he can be dangerous. I think people just seen him on the cover of the game and just assume. All I know is give me any of them on the Tennessee Titans. Give me any of them on the Tennessee Titans. But y'all got any more questions, man? I know this is a late night shop talk. It's 12:30 on the East Coast. It's 11:30 where I'm at. I know we do late night streams anyways, but I just pop in and do the post game because that game had me excited. Q was popping. So give me y'all predictions in the chat, man. Y'all got Miami or Texas A&M. I ain't really concerned about them other two games. I need y'all to get on. On record, and I'm gonna drop this video in the chat, so nobody can go back and say I switched sides. This was me and Rich Black Man. We recorded this offline. This is and he got one on his channel too. You can go tap in, throw a comment and a like, throw your predictions up on there too as well if you didn't get a chance to check out the streams. But it's definitely I definitely made my predictions on who I thought would do well in the CFP. He got Miami. I've been going back and forth, but I think Miami. I wish this was a nighttime primetime game. I don't know who scheduled this game to be a daytime game. That just bugs me that this is a 11 a.m. kick game. There's no way on earth that Miami Texas A&M shouldn't have been a night game. Bill was popping. Definitely should have been a night game. But Rich picked Miami. I picked Texas A&M. I went against the grain just for, you know, just for GP. He said I missed the old Facebook content. It was legendary. I feel like the new content is getting stronger and stronger because it's different content. NCAA can't do nothing right. Oregon JMU for prime time is criminal. Yeah, only way that is not criminal is if that would have been a late game. You know how like those West Coast games used to kick at like 9 o'clock Central or 8 o'clock Eastern or something like that. If it was a late game and then Texas A&M came on at like 5 and then that game came on like 8:30, then I could have rolled with it. But it's like a regular night game, like 5 or 6 o'clock. And then you gotta think like they're on the West Coast, so really they kick in at like 3 o'clock on the West Coast. I don't know. I think it's corny. Unless James Madison some kind of way win that game. If it's a blowout, like people won't watch past the first half, you're gonna be then went to sleep on a Saturday night with no college football past 5 or 6 on a playoff weekend for it. So I don't know. I just thought that was off. I thought that they should have put Texas A&M Miami at like a 5:36 kick, and then let Oregon JMU be like a late night game, and then had a 2:30 kick for Ole Miss and Tulane. Yeah, like I don't know if they can't flex it. It just looks weird that the biggest matchup of the day is gonna be. If I was an advertiser, I'd be mad because the biggest game is gonna be played in the morning. People are just gonna be getting up. Like if you went to that game and you was in Texas A&M and you went to their stadium, like the tailgate, would you eating breakfast? You getting pancakes for the tailgate? Is game kick off at 11 o'clock in the morning? Which I think that because of the NFL games tomorrow too. Man, forget the NFL. Ain't no good NFL games on tomorrow. Like who cares about some of the NFL games being played on Saturday? Go in and take the primetime slot. You college, you NIL, you big time money. See if you can hang. They in cahoots then. I'd rather an NFL game be played at Saturday at noon and then have Texas A&M Miami be the night game. To be honest. Joe Kenio. Teams fighting for the North. Man, we don't care nothing about them teams, man. We tanking. We trying to get the number one. We trying to get the number one pick. We trying to get the number one pick. I don't care about nobody trying to get a wild card spot. Bears, Packers at 7. That'd be a good game, but I hate that Christian Watson and Michael Parsons both got hurt. I actually like the Bears in the game too, by the way. He said they need their number one. Nah, number one ain't going to Nashville, man. We need their number one. I see the Chiefs is really tanking. Chiefs ain't playing half their roster. He said, yeah, you rather watch Texas A&M blow out Miami than the best rivalry in the NFL. It's not the best rivalry in the NFL. Everybody cares about that rivalry. Nobody care about y'all, man. Y'all need to stay on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Like playoff football on the Saturday in the NFL, I'm saying is a different situation. Man, that game should be the primetime Sunday night game anyways. They should have flexed a game that two teams is tanking on for the Saturday games. We don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Texas A&M Miami would have been a better watch. And because at least if you're gonna do Texas A&M Miami, let them get the 2:30 kick, because I don't want to wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning. They doing game day and the game's kicking off. Like that's a game that for Texas A&M Stadium like should be rocking at like 5:30. People slobbing from the beer. You know what I'm saying? Like I need that type of environment out there in Texas. You said, man, stop it. She said, if it back up, suit up, Gardner Minshew's out there fighting. You feel me? They need to flex Miami and A&M. I mean, Cam, that's what I've been saying today. Like, why would you take the best game that's going to be Nobody cares about James Madison and Tulane game. My bad, we good for a third time in my 30-year life. I'm excited. Hey, listen, man, I ain't here to piss in your Cheerios about your Chicago Bears, but I am telling you, I would have liked to see Texas A&M Miami. If nothing else, man, I could have like put one game on my phone and one game on the TV. You know what I'm saying? Or in this room, I could have put one game on that TV back there and then one game on the TV here. Got to get a nobody sunshine? No, we don't. Ain't nobody happy about them playing. Ain't nobody happy about them playing. Now, if that would have been Texas playing, if that had been Texas playing Oregon at Oregon, and you had Notre Dame playing at Ole Miss in Oxford, like that's different. But no, they picked James Madison and in Tulane, bro. Like that's their fault. Look, we live in a capitalistic society when they should just be shallow and do the thing with the money. You know what I'm saying? This is like you young and you single and you at the bar and like it's a girl with a track body and she pretty and she ready to go, and you leave out with the ugly duckling with the pancake Duke in the flat chest. You know what I'm saying? you left out with the 5 instead of the 9. For the sake of saying you ain't shallow, man. Go get the money, man. Put Notre Dame against Ole Miss and put Texas at Oregon. Tulane gonna win that game. They got flooded last time they played Ole Miss. Ole Miss players foaming at the mouth that Lane Kiffin left. There's no way they're gonna let Lane Kiffin leave and then get beat by Tulane. They might as well drop out the SEC if they let Lane Kiffin beat LSU, get to the playoffs, leave Ole Miss at the altar and go to LSU after saying he wasn't gonna go, and then them players turn around and get beat by Tulane in the playoffs. There's no chance, bro. Ole Miss Ole Miss gonna pull out all the stops on Tulane, and Georgia gonna take them to the woodshed. That's how that's gonna work. D Ford. That's how that's gonna work. Oh man. The man said Tulane gonna win. Boy. But I had them boys tight. I made that comparison with Matt Stafford out there. Them boys a little upset about that. I don't know why. Make sure y'all comment, share, tap in all my content though, man. That's the way we going up, man. That's the way we going up. If y'all ain't on the YouTube, 8:00 a.m. every morning, the shop talk, and it be a smaller compressed version, kind of like the main thing we went over being the topic of conversation. Path ain't easy, but I think Texas Tech win it all. No. The hardest path is the Texas A&M Miami side of the bracket, because you gotta play Texas A&M Miami, then the winner play Ohio State, then the winner probably gonna play Georgia. Then you gotta play who come out the left. Texas Tech got it. Texas Tech is in the easiest bracket, but I don't think they beat Oregon. I think Oregon gonna beat Texas Tech. Gotta remember how bright these lights is for these teams that ain't never got to this stage. We ain't used to these bright lights. Texas, it's gonna be hard for Texas Tech to make that run. The lights might be too bright. They got a good team, but the lights might be too bright. We're gonna find out how bright these lights is for Indiana come Rose Bowl. He said Oregon never win nothing though. They don't. They won more than Texas Tech though. I think last time you remember Texas Tech being in this type of position, they had what, Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree. That's the last time you remember Texas Tech being in this spot. But I think it's gonna be some good games though. Outside this James Madison Tulane games, I think we're gonna have some good games. So we definitely tap in Saturday. We'll do a recap on the games that pop Saturday, and then that'll lead us into the Titans Chiefs Tank Bowl, the Nagy Bowl, and then we got NFL Sunday. So your boy is about to crash. I'm about to get up out of here. 8 a.m. in the morning, man. This shop talk will go up. I appreciate y'all, man. God first in the chat. And we out.